Hello Internet, Big Dave here, and I am cheap. This is Darksiders 2 from Vigil Games. Longtime viewers of the channel may remember that Darksiders 1 went down as one of my favorite games of the last 2 years. So much so that I was willing to pay full price, $50, for Darksiders 2. I'm about 5 hours into the game, and I have to say I absolutely do not regret it. Now, you've heard a lot about this game already from other YouTube commentators, you've read reviews, you've seen all the press, so you know a lot of what's going on. I'm going to try to give you my personal take on it, and try not to be too redundant with repeating a lot of information that's already been provided to you by other more popular sources. So we're going to start in the tutorial. This allows me to limit the scope of the video so I don't get bogged down talking about some of the more advanced systems, and it also allows me to keep any spoilers out for those of you who might be contemplating a purchase and will buy it later. I don't want to spoil anything, any gameplay mechanics, or any story points, so the tutorial will do a nice job of benefiting us on both of those fronts. So without any further ado, let's get things going. You will see my existing save here. We will not be going to that. We will be opening a brand new save. So let's go ahead and get things underway. Set our gamma. That's weird. I don't know if you guys will see this, but this is a tiny little window. For some reason it went tiny on us all of a sudden. Weird. But yeah, we'll accept that. Now go ahead and enjoy the introduction movie, and I will be back with you in a moment.
There can be no life without order. Good, evil, darkness, light. There must be balance in the universe. Such is the decree of the Charred Council, an ancient body charged by the Creator to preserve the very fabric of existence. But the balance has been broken. Even now, Earth smolders in ruin, fallen to the demon lords, and the Destroyer carves a new kingdom amongst his mighty chosen. Some say the Horseman War triggered the apocalypse, that he rode to Earth unbidden and doomed all of mankind. But what of the other horsemen, fearless enforcers of the Council's will? What of fury, strife, and death? To know those names, you must first know another. Nephilim, cursed union of angel and demon. The Nephilim countless realms to the sword and burned them to ash. But 4 amongst them grew weary of the slaughter and feared their conquest would imperil the balance. And so a truce was made. The 4 would serve the Council in exchange for unimaginable power. Thus were the dreaded horsemen formed, and the riders' first task was to purge their own brethren from creation, to annihilate the Nephilim and destroy their souls. Let us now cast our gaze to one amongst the 4. Not War, who lies chained at the Council's feet, professing his innocence, but one who would save his brother above all else. He has many names: Kinslayer, Executioner, Death. To bargain for war's freedom, Death swore that he would resurrect humanity. But he knew not how this might be done. And so Death rode forth into the icy veil to find the Keeper of Secrets.
Now, say what you will about the wonky PC port, the low-res textures, the jaggy shadows, but this is a beautiful scene right here. A panel right out of a comic book, and you would expect that with Joe Madureira at the helm of the art in this game. Just beautiful. And it's moments like this where you see what this game is and what it could be, because in the same breath that you're noticing this wonderful scene and you're taking it in, the scene's being set perfectly, you spin your camera just a little bit and you see this. The pixelated horse shadow. God. It's just bad. And other people have talked about how bad the PC port is. They've demonstrated it. There are articles online. There are forum threads. There's everything you want. I'm not going to try to focus on that stuff. It's been covered, been there, done that. Yeah, you're going to notice it from time to time. An occasional wall texture is going to look like garbage. Your horse's shadow looks 8-bit. But I kind of can forgive a lot of that stuff when the game just plays so well. Now, it's not perfect. I do have a couple of complaints about the gameplay, but we'll get to those as they actually crop up. Now we're going to ride forth here into the frozen wastes in search of the Keeper of Secrets, and we hope that he's going to help us by telling us how exactly we can bring humanity back, because if you haven't played the first Darksiders, you may not know that all of humanity was wiped out. They referred to that in the intro, actually. And now our brother War has been accused of bringing that about. We are going to set out to try and clear his name, and that's pretty much the crux of this game as you start it. So you do get the horse right away. It was about halfway into Darksiders 1 before you got the horse. That's really nice, but you come across a lot of this. Places where you just can't use the horse. So it's great to get you from point A to point B in the short distance, but eventually you do end up just getting dismounted because you enter a certain area. I say getting from point A to point B in the short because there's fast travel in this game in the open world, and that's really cool, and it really makes things a lot easier. There was fast travel in the first game, but that consisted of hopping between Vulgrim points, so you could hop between any two shops. So we're going to start into combat here, and because we're in the tutorial, we're going to get some tutorials. So let me do what it suggests. Let me press Alt to dodge. Oh, look at that, I dodged. So it's a very clicky, spectacle fighter sort of combat. It's really good. It feels good. It works really well. A lot of the complaints that I have about the movement in the game actually disappear while you're in combat. There are some problems with the camera when you're just walking around, but when you're actually swinging your scythes, everything works the way that I would want it to work. I have sort of free roaming motion on the camera. Really like it. Let's finish this guy off. Come here, you. There we go. Secondary weapon. Oh, I picked up some stuff. So, yeah, there's a full inventory, there is loot, there's all kinds of stuff in this game, and we did pick up a secondary weapon. So let's go ahead and equip one. Is this one equipped already? Let's see. There we go. Let's equip that massive hammer, and yes, as other folks have said, this looks horrible. Low res, probably 720p here, despite the fact that I am in 1080. Yeah, it looks bad. It just looks bad. You can tell they didn't really take much time with the PC port. We're going to gear up, and you're going to see some gear actually appear on my character. Your look never changes that radically, but it changes just enough to kind of keep you satisfied. So let's move it on here. There we go. We've got our secondary weapon now. Giant hammer we can smash and kill with. That is wonderful. So as a whole, like I said, the game plays really well. It's smooth. It works well. Death, as a character, is a lot more about dodging, and he doesn't have a block at all. If you're standing still and you press Alt, he actually does that hop back, which actually comes in really, really handy as you move forward. So we're going to make it through this level. You're going to see some traversal. You're going to see some combat. You're kind of going to see everything that you would expect from this game. You know, if you've played the first game, a lot of this is going to be very familiar. They do introduce the mechanic of the wall run for death. Birds. Let's see. Right. Oh, hello. Let's deal a little death out to this fellow right here. Hit him with our giant hammer. Ooh, that made short work of him. Little secret here. The game is filled with these sort of little secret... Oh, damn. Alright, 3 health potions there. The game's filled with these little secret areas. Always be on the lookout for that sort of stuff. Slightly obstructed alternate paths, and you're going to end up getting quite a haul of loot if you just kind of keep your eyes open. So here we go, a little more traversal, just introducing some different concepts here, running along these little wooden beams. Okay, that is totally falling apart. Continue moving forward here. Ah, wooden pillars. And I think I hear Gollum in the background there. Oh, that must be our quarry there. The Keeper of Secrets off in the distance. Yes, you can barely see him. Yes, I just wish that the port of this game was better. I wish that Vigil really took it more seriously when it came to making the PC port, but they just didn't, unfortunately. This is another new traversal thing that Death has. Really nice. It helps you. It really helps you get a feel for Death as a character. You know, these little claw fingers that he has, and the ability to bounce around and climb up pillars and grab onto stuff, and it just really it completes him as a character. Don't think there's any secret behind that guy, and it really makes him feel a lot different from War, and to the extent that you're actually going to see a battle between the two, and you will really see and feel the difference between the two characters. So you just play around in combat, learn there are a lot of things you can do. You can do a little air juggle there if you don't get knocked out of the air. One thing that I actually like about this game, even though it's really annoying, is that enemies don't wait for you. In Darksiders 1, by and large, enemies would wait for you. If you started a combo on another enemy, the guys around him would just kind of hang out. They wouldn't attempt to interrupt your combo. In this game, they absolutely attempt that. They try to interrupt your combo very regularly, and you do have to sometimes dodge out of the middle of combos. I really like that. I really like that feeling that an attack can come at any moment. Again, just reinforcing some of our traversal stuff here, teaching us how to flow along walls from one grab point to the next. Really nice. Some of this combat is optional, some of it is not, like this bit here. Swing our giant hammer and destroy that guy. I'm looking for an execution, but I'm not managing to get one. I'd really like to get an execution. War was very fond of executing folk, but I don't see executions come up as often with Death. Pretty much every combo could be, or every enemy could be put down with an execution. In the original Darksiders, amazingly, Death seems more content just to beat people to death until they evaporate into crystal, whereas War was murdering people in insane ways. Come on, there we go. So we are continuing to be taunted. Sick laughter, thank you. Ah, oh, subtitles. Alright, are you going to come alive? No, you're not. Awesome. Alright, continuing forward. As I get to the top here, I'll try to show you one of the things. The camera is a little iffy. It does sort of have a maximum that you can go above and below. A little bit annoying. I would like to be able to get a little bit closer to the wall than that, but it's just enough to give me the view that I need of the obstacle that I'm trying to ascend to, so it is not a huge complaint, but yeah, like, I want better, I guess. Okay, so here's one of the big things that annoys me when it comes to just running around. This is probably my #1 complaint with the game. As I'm running, I'll try to strafe, right? I want to strafe. Well, I think we're going to have to put that thought on hold, because this guy is going to try to kill me. Alright, Ice Giant, bring it on. Whoa, okay. Alright. Now, it wants me to focus on him. I don't really like focusing. I feel that the combat for me flows a lot better when I don't focus. That's my opinion. So other people might think differently. I will tell you, if you want to lock on to somebody and you don't want to have to constantly hold down Shift, you can just hit F, and it will permanently lock on. Now, I don't have to hold Shift. I can dodge at my convenience. Not a big deal. I'm just not a fan of using the lock-on, and I think that's because, as a non-console gamer, I am accustomed to having more control of the camera in any given game because of playing with the mouse and keyboard. So I want that control, and taking it away from me just makes me miss it. It doesn't actually improve my ability to play the game. So we're going to go ahead and finish this fellow off. Big man, come on. Take another swing. Well, let's finish him with a giant hammer swing. We will turn into the Grim Reaper and pull his head the hell off. This game, much as the first game, just continues to have super impressive executions, creative stuff. You do have limited executions per enemy type, but it doesn't matter when they're that beautiful. So I see another hammer lying here on the ground. I have auto loot turned on, that's why I'm just picking stuff up automatically. But let's take a look, see if I've picked up any upgrades. The star will tell you you have new equipment, and we can start taking a look. And no upgrades, couple of side grades and a downgrade. Let's take a look at our hands here. We do indeed have a nice upgrade. You'll watch his fists here. You will notice we have new armor. So, as I said before, the armor is going to show up on the character. Not an upgrade there. Perfect. So we're going to move forward. Let me get back to what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. As you move around, as a computer gamer and not a console gamer, as I am strafing, I want to move my camera so that I can see what I'm strafing around, right? I want to constantly be moving my camera, but the camera tries to pull back to behind death. So I can never effectively move it, and then there becomes a point where I start to turn. I don't want that turn to happen the way it happens. I want a little more give in the camera. When you're in combat, swinging your scythes, it works that way. See here, I'm moving around my guy. I can get full 360 rotation. I like that. I want that. And I don't have that when I'm moving. It's an extreme annoyance, but I've already learned to cope with it. Basically, I just tend to strafe and then let the camera auto-adjust. So if I'm moving forward, I'll strafe and then let it adjust like that. So, and I do a lot more moving with the mouse, where I would strafe and move in games. I'm just moving with the mouse instead. So I'm doing more deliberate sweeping turns. So not a big thing. It was just a really wonky thing, and it's not in the first game. This is actually something that they added in, this the way this camera movement works. So yeah, there are a lot of things that could be better about this game. But see, you notice if I'm here pointing at the front of my guy, it wants to move in the direction. That was a little bit different in the first game. I can't really quantify it with words, so I'm going to stop trying, but it has been, no question, the one thing that really, really has annoyed me. So we're introducing the concept of using these little pegs that stick out from the wall to extend your run. So here we go. Nice and easy. And I think we are going to have ourselves a boss battle. Let's see. We are drawing near to the end of the tutorial section. We will have a nice boss battle, and that'll be a good cue to end things up here. The music swells in the background. Goodness, music in this game, fantastic. Really love it. Really like the music in the first game too, so not a big surprise that the music is great in this game. Really, really happy about that. That's alright, I guess that's a one-time use elevator right there. Righty-o, here we go. Drop down. Death can... Oh, okay, just letting me know about perpetual wall running here. I haven't actually seen this scenario crop up in the game yet, where I've had that presented to me, where I have two walls that are that close together. Grab onto some vines here. One thing I do miss is that War could actually, when he was crawling on these sort of viney areas, you could kind of jump from... Well, actually, maybe you can with Death. Let's see. No. If you hit Alt with War, you could actually kind of leap forward and leap back. But you did occasionally do combat on these vines. I haven't actually encountered combat on the viney sections. Whoa. Alright, Keeper of Secrets. You're not keeping your disdain for me very secret. Let's go ahead and try and get to your house anyway. Leap up here. Again, more traversal, very typical of what you're seeing throughout this game. And I really, really like that. I like that Death feels completely different as a character. He has his own identity, and I could see them maybe eventually building to some kind of a 4-player co-op game where every character plays differently. You can see from the intro that I believe it's Strife has a pistol, and Fury has a whip. So, you know, that's pretty cool. Again, giving distinct play styles to each of the 4 characters. Really, really wise. Let's try to mess these guys up with a giant hammer whack. There we go. That worked out well. There are some combos that you can do. Let's see if I can pull this one off. Delay, and there it is. Yeah, you can kind of summon your little Reaper form for a moment there. Kind of cool stuff. Eventually you do get to become the Reaper for limited amounts of time, and that's really, really nice. Oh, hey, what are you doing over here? All by your lonesome. You might be a secret, but I haven't the time to kill you, so here we go. Moving forward. I thought that this tutorial section was a lot shorter than this, so we are going to try to rush to the end of it here. I think I've pretty much shared most of what I wanted to share with you guys. You know, again, just keeping in mind that Darksiders 1 was one of my favorite games of the last couple of years. This game definitely living up to that, in my personal opinion. It is so much larger than the first game, and that has really been a pleasant surprise. The first game felt big, but this game is so much larger. The first area that you enter is basically the size of the first game, so really, really cool stuff. I'm really glad that they went just whole hog on this game and added all of these RPG trimmings that were missing from the first game. And just, they hit a home run, in my personal opinion. A little more traversal here. Traversal. That should be the subtitle of this game, you know, Darksiders 2, Traversal. Because Death loves to traverse obstacles left and right. Where are we at here? Okay. Right. Oh, there we go. Jump up there. Do lean. Played this game with a controller very briefly, not happy with that experience at all. But again, as a PC gamer, I was kind of not surprised that I didn't enjoy playing it with a controller. Certain games, though, love with a controller. Batman Arkham Asylum, just finished playing through that, loved it with the controller, hated it with the mouse and keyboard.
Keeper of Secrets, I need your help.
I helped you once before, Horseman. Look at me now. How I cursed that day. How I curse you.
Careful, Crowfather. I'm not here to put you out of your misery. Not yet.
I know why you've come. Your brother, the one called War, he's been imprisoned by the Charred Council and awaits their judgment for dooming the Earth. For mankind's extinction. Why should I care about your brother's fate?
Because you know the truth. Your secrets can save him.
The Council will condemn War. Strip him of power, let him rot in oblivion. To hide the truth. My secrets cannot prove his innocence, Horseman.
No, but they can help me to erase the crime.
Bring mankind back from extinction. Madness.
If it's madness, then who better to show me the way?
Should a way exist, you will find it here.
The Tree of Life. Let me pass.
Not yet. That which you gave me, you will take it back.
In exchange for its secrets, you agreed to keep the amulet.
No. The voices, they curse and threaten without end. They cry to return. You must destroy it!
I cannot.
You annihilated their flesh. Why do you guard their souls?
Open the portal.
You will not pass while I live.
So be it.
Here your brethren are trapped in eternal torment. Do you wish to join them? And what of war? Would you kill your brother to save your precious balance?
He is innocent.
Are you so certain?
Oh shit. Alright, so we are fighting our brother. He is just a total badass. He is just stalking us with his giant sword on his shoulder. So this fight is really brilliant. I love the fact that it's in the game because it does an amazing job, as I was saying earlier, of highlighting the difference between war and between death. And players who have played Darksiders 1 will remember the moves that are about to be executed upon them and will get that feeling really quickly. They will start to appreciate death's attributes, and contrasting them against war like this, I think, was a really, really brilliant decision. The last thing I kind of wanted to say as we fight here is the voice acting in the game. I think for the most part the voice acting is just spot on. Damn. Alright, gonna avoid that. The voice acting is just spot on, I think, for the most part. The voice actor who is doing Death is Michael Wincott. You may remember him if you're... Damn! Stop it, war. You may remember him from... Dodge that before I keep talking. The Crow, that's what I remember him for most of all. He was top dollar in The Crow, the main villain of The Crow. So, yeah, I mean, it's good. In places, he kind of muddles the accent, I think. He's not whatever he's purporting to be here, sort of pseudo-British. He is actually Canadian. So I think for the most part the voice acting, much like in the first game, is just spot on wonderful. Use a health potion there so I don't get embarrassed. Oh, that was nice. And... Quick time? Quick time. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh crap, I guess I didn't win that quick time event. Okay. Let's win the next quick time event. But yeah, as I say, that's not his actual accent, and at times I do think he kind of loses it a little bit. But for the most part, he does a really great job. I mean, he's asked to do a lot in this game. He has a lot of lines as Death, and some pretty ridiculous lines as well. And I think he really, ultimately, he really delivers them well for the most part. You will eventually encounter more of the Makers. If you played the first game, you will remember Ulthane. He had an amazing Scottish accent. He was basically he was a giant dwarf, essentially. And you will encounter a lot more of his people in this game. So you're going to be prepared for a lot of good and sometimes bad Scottish-y accents. I think for the most part, most of the people nail it pretty well. So no major complaints. Let's hit him with a hammer to finish him off. Oh, I got cocky. There we go. Just finish him with the scythes. Is there a quick time event? If so, let's win it. Let's win it. Here we go. Oh, no need. And there you have it, the introduction to Darksiders 2, tutorial complete. And we are set. So we're going to end things up here. Again, I think this is a wonderful game, well worth the money. It does have its issues. The port is questionable. Some of the mechanics are not as clean as I would like them to be, but all in all, really enjoyed the hell out of this game. If you've got $50 just lying around, going to waste, definitely spend it on this, maybe Sleeping Dogs, but I would personally lean a little more towards Darksiders. I hope you've enjoyed this really long video of a game that is not $5 or less, and yeah, I think we're just going to watch the little outro of the tutorial section, set the scene for the rest of the game, and I will bid you guys adieu. I have been Big Dave, and until next time, take it easy.
Open the portal. Your secrets die with you, old fool.